Holocaust Memories Never Forget. A Gentile baby boomer's painful journey into the Shoah. Section 6. Brutalste Gewalt. Brutal Violence. Part 32. From the 1st of January 1943 until the end of the war, May 1945. Here are more war and Holocaust-related events that took place in late 1944. On the 7th of October 1944, a prisoner revolt at Auschwitz took place. Preparations to break out began months earlier by members of the camp underground, which included 4 women prisoners who worked in the munitions plant inside Auschwitz. These women passed small amounts of gunpowder to the Sonderkommandos, the Jewish men who removed bodies from the gas chambers and cremated them, and this gunpowder was used to make explosives. Additionally, other weapons were collected and used by the men during the revolt. At 3 p.m. on the 7th of October, prisoners began attacking the SS guards, but communication between them was almost non-existent, essentially dooming any chance of success. Although Crematoria 4 was destroyed and 200 prisoners escaped into the woods, they were all eventually captured and executed. The women involved, Esther Wachblum, Ella Gertner, Rosa Robata, and Regina Safferstein, were arrested and hanged on the 5th of January 1945. On the 10th of October, 800 Gypsy children were gassed to death at Auschwitz. On the 15th of October, the Germans removed Miklos Horthy, region of Hungary, and installed a puppet government using the leaders of the rabidly anti-Semitic Arrow Cross, after which the deportation of Jews to Auschwitz immediately resumed. On the 16th of October, Hitler created the Volkssturm, also known as the Home Army, which was made up of males between 16 and 60 who were given limited military training and used for defense inside German borders. On the 20th of October, Belgrade was liberated by Soviet troops and Yugoslav partisans. Because of Steven Spielberg's movie Schindler's List, millions of people around the world are familiar with the name Oskar Schindler, a German businessman and Nazi party member who is credited with saving at least 1,200 Jewish lives during the war. As Soviet troops continued pressing westward toward Krakow in the fall of 1944, Schindler convinced the Nazi authorities to let him move his entire enamel factory and all his Jewish workers to an armament factory he'd set up in Brunlitz in occupied Czechoslovakia. Altogether, there were 700 Jewish men and 300 women and girls working for him at his plant in Krakow. The Jewish men were put on one train, while the women were scheduled to be transported on a different one later. The men finally made it to Brunlitz after a harrowing week at Gross Rosen concentration camp, where they feared for their lives every day. However, due to a manifest error, the women ended up on a train with 2,000 other Jewish women bound for Auschwitz. Schindler was undergoing his 3rd interrogation by the Gestapo for corruption when he found out about the women, after which he rushed his secretary to Auschwitz carrying cash and other valuable items. Thankfully, she was able to bribe the SS commandant into having them separated and put on a train headed to Brunlitz. After the war, Yad Vashem honored Oskar Schindler as righteous among the nations, and through the persistence of Roman Lesniak, one of the Jewish men he'd saved, Schindler's last wish, to be buried in Jerusalem, was fulfilled.